The moment you saw manufacturing account, how you know it? Because normally they will say manufacturing business produce the product. If not, also you can see raw material, finished good. This type of question normally is manufacturing account. She provide the following information for the year ended 30th April 2020. Revenue, purchases of raw material, purchases of finished good, wages of the factory operative, royalty paid to the inventor of the, this is royalty fee in the direct cost. The word given in here, this is a direct cost because this one based on how many units you produce, you have to pay the inventor the cost. Factory general expenses, factory fuels and power, rent and insurance, factory machinery at cost, provision for factory machinery, inventory. We have 3 types of the inventory. This is beginning of the year. Raw material, work in progress, finished good. Okay, see what are the adjustments they ask for. We do the adjustment calculation. Factory machinery is depreciated at 20%. So number 1 is calculating depreciation of factory machinery. And they've given us that reducing balance method. Think about formula first, don't think about calculation. Okay, in the exam, don't need to write the formula. Just for these are the class purpose, I show the formula. Reducing balance is taking the cost minus provision for depreciation times the percentage. So here, amount, what we get for the factory cost, 60,000. So 60,000 minus the provision, 21,600. Okay, and then times how many percent? 20%. So we get, let me count this, 60,000 minus 21 times, so the amount is 38400 times the 20%, 7680. So 7680. So in the exam, you can do your working in the beside the question. For example, you want to calculate this amount out first. So in here, you write down 660,000 minus 21600, and then times 20%. Straight away, use the calculator. Write it somewhere in the space that you have to show your working first, so that you will know that later on you need to use the number. Okay, the next one. Rent and insurance to be split equally between the factory. That means number 2 information, rent and insurance. The total amount in the trial balance is 28,000. This is split equally factory and office. Factory means that manufacturing account. The amount split equally means 28,000 divided by 2. So you get 14,000. Okay. The next one, office, the word means that income statement. Okay. So income statement is 28,000 divided 2 equal 14,000. Okay, so this is the amount that we get. We calculated number 3. The annual salary of factory supervisor is 28,500. So let's see the salary. Where is the salary? Okay, wages operative. No, they didn't say. Here, that means this all you don't have salary. They mean this one is a accrued amount. Okay, factory supervisor salary. Okay, so we have the amount. How much shall we? Let's see. Salary. How much? Sorry, 28,500. Okay, this amount sitting in the manufacturing account under what section? Under the factory overhead section. So take notes about it. Next is that closing inventory. Okay, this is a closing inventory that later we will use it. Okay, they asked to prepare the manufacturing account. So let's we put up to here. Okay, manufacturing account, basically you have direct cost, which is the direct cost, prime cost. I write down prime cost first, prime cost. Then after that, you have the factory overhead. There is a two key section. After that, you have the work in progress. That is the last section. Then you get your production cost, or sometimes cost of production. So either way can be. Now, what is the prime cost that we have? Prime cost, you don't talk about the question first, we talk about the format first. Prime cost, you have the raw material. Okay, you have the direct wages or direct labor. I put direct labor. Okay, another is a direct expenses. But in your syllabus, normally direct expenses refer to your royalty fee, which is this question you have royalty fee. So this is the three items that we have. So now we put in one by one. Okay. Raw material is talking about the purchase of the raw material. But the question beginning here, we have the amount. Inventory at 1st May. That means we have to put in the inventory at 1st May 2019. Plus the purchases during the year. Okay. If you have any direct costs incurred for the purchases, you also have to add in. But this question, quite straightforward. They don't have much thing. The purchase of raw material. After that, no more other related to the direct cost. So I mean, basically, it's only one purchases. And then after that, minus inventory at what year? At 30th April 2020, which is 3,000. So this one is 3,000. And this one is referred to the raw material. So this one, actually, we are calculating consume of, or we put raw material consume. Okay, I put the other in the back. Consume. Okay, raw material consume. So this is one of the item you need to calculate. So inventory beginning 3120. Purchases of the raw material 46500. So we take opening plus purchases minus, we get the raw material consumed. So this is number one. Okay. Next is the second one, direct labor. Which one is the direct labor here? Wages of factory operative. So this wages operative is a direct labor. So you don't want to leave, you want to leave this one, okay. If you don't want, then you just directly put in the wages of, okay, wages of factory operative. So there is the direct cost. So this is under the direct labor section. Because it's only one item, no adjustment, anything. So we just straight away take the amount, 38250. Double see whether correct. Okay, the line is correct. Okay. So this is the direct labor section. The last one, direct expenses in here, which is the royalty fee. Okay, royalty fee is, okay, royalty fee amount to how much? 7690. So these three direct costs we add, and don't forget in your this amount, put in prime cost. This term must be there. Must put in prime cost total how much. Okay, that is about the format for the manufacturing account. Now the next is we want to calculate the factory overhead. So how much how many item is considered overhead? Those so long as you saw the word factory, most likely is related to factory overhead. For example, here we have factory general. Okay, we put in factory general expenses. Next is factory fuels and power. Okay. And then rent and insurance. Okay. Any more? Let's see. Still got the check. Okay, factory machinery provision. Okay, provision. The moment you saw factory machinery, that means it's a depreciation. Depreciation of factory machinery related to the factory. Okay, next is what else that we have? Let's see. Okay, rent and rate. This one we calculated. Later we need to put. Okay, one more item in here. Factory supervisor salary. So this one had to put in. No more, no others. Okay, so now we can put in the amount. Before we can put in the amount, take notes that it's any adjustment. Okay, because this one, let me adjust it. Okay. So factory general expenses. Okay, let me underline. Too many lines is make me confused. I couldn't see properly. Okay, let me see properly. First are the amount. Okay. Factory general expenses is 4,005, no adjustment. Then factory fuels and power also they didn't mention anything, so we just straight away take the amount. But general as rent and insurance they mentioned in the number 2 information. They say that split into half. So in this case, you show your working. Show the working, how you get the number. 28,000 divided by 2. So you get this amount, 14,000. Show the working beside your detail. And same thing, the depreciation. Okay, show your working, how you get the number. So I take this amount. Show the working, how you get the amount in here, 7680. Okay, even though we calculated already in here. Then factory supervisor, 28500. So we add the factory overhead. You get 60,005. So take this plus, not minus. Take note, this is a plus because this is the cost. These all are the cost to factory. So you have to plus the cost we split into prime cost and factory overhead costs. We now come to the work in progress. Okay, work in progress in here is referred to the inventory work in progress. For example, here, the beginning year. So beginning inventory and then end year. Okay, we want to put minus also can, if we here. Okay, opening we plus. So the amount 5400 and closing 5590 we minus. So we take opening minus closing. And now you notice that here I get negative. In exam, don't put negative in front. Put bracket 190. This bracket indicate is a minus. Is a minus that you need to deduct. There is a important thing that in the account, the statement format, you don't put negative in front because max is a negative, but account put bracket. So we take this amount minus 1190. So we get this 152,375, which is this one is considered our production cost or cost of production. So far, okay. So for this is the area for in terms of the section that for the manufacturing account. Start with the prime cost. This everything is a prime cost. But in order to get the prime cost, you must calculate the raw material consumed first. Raw material we refer to the inventory plus purchases minus closing inventory. If any other related to purchase, you also have to add in. For example, carriage inward. Okay, if you have purchases written related to raw material, also have to minus. So now let's move on to the next. Okay, the question B, they asked to prepare the income statement. Trading section. What is a trading section? Trading section means that you just only calculate up to the, present your account up to the gross profits. After that, expenses and other don't need to do. That is called trading section. So we just put in the amount first. Let's see. Start with the revenue and then less cost of sales. Okay, this is a two section. Revenue, one section. Cost of sales, one section. So what is the revenue that we have in this question? We go to the, see the information. Revenue is 254. So 258. This one is, they put revenue, so we just take the 254,000. Okay. So now next is that the cost of sales. Cost of sales, be careful, manufacturing account. Start with the opening inventory. Okay, let me take this amount. This inventory is referred to the finished goods. It's not raw material, it's not work in progress, it's a finished good. So what is our finished good opening inventory? This one, 8220. Next is, in the exam, sometimes they got put in the purchase. This question, they say, purchase of finished good. It means that this is one of the cost of sales we have to take in. So here, we put in purchase of finished goods, and the amount is 5900. Okay. So take notes about this finished good. Next is that this cost that you are calculated, this amount, cost of production, 152375. The whole thing will go to the cost of sales. So cost of production sitting in here. And the amount is 152375. This is one of the part important under the cost of sales. Okay. See any more other item related? Okay. The last one, finished good, 7885. So we take this one is closing inventory 7885. Finished good. We take the total for these three first, subtotal first. If you don't want to put subtotal, also fine. Let me check the amount. Okay, minus this inventory. So take this minus this. So we get the cost of sales net is 211710. And last, gross profit, because we stop in here already. Revenue minus cost of sales, that's all. Because the question say they want trading section. Trading section, you do up to the gross profit. Okay, now let's move on. Okay, complete the table by place a tick on the indicate whether each of the following action will increase or decrease the gross profit margin. So first of all, what is a gross margin? Gross margin means gross profit margin. The formula is taking gross profit divide revenue times 100%. So that is formula. So using the mathematical concept, GP margin equal to the gross profit over revenue. In order to increase this one, this is mathematical concept to look into the formula. Gross profit margin increase, your GP margin must be increased. Your revenue, this one, decrease. Sounds like that. But because this revenue is part of this gross profit, your gross profit is taking revenue minus cost of sales. So in this case, this revenue cannot be reduced. You must increase the revenue. What is to be decreased? Cost of sales to be decreased. The component in the cost of sales have to decrease. Revenue have to increase. Then only gross profit margin can increase. Okay, now look into this question. Increase wages of factory supervisor. So we talk about this one first. Number one. Wages supervisor increase. Where is the section of the supervisor? Factory overhead. Factory overhead is part of the cost of production. Okay. Cost of production is part of the cost of sales. So when these wages increase, cost of sales will increase. Okay, here factory overhead increase, cost of production increase, cost of sales increase. When cost of sales increase, gross profit decrease. There is the impact of the information given. So for this one, increase wages factory supervisor, decrease in the gross profit margin. So your this one answer will be decrease gross margin using the formula indicate here. Next is that reduce trade discount allowed to customer. Let me copy this. Okay. Trade discount to encourage buy more or bulk purchases. So when trade discount reduce, trade discount allowed to customer reduce. Sales, selling price, selling price increase. Okay, trade discount is directly deduct from the selling price. Selling price will increase when the trade discount reduce, selling price increase. Selling price increase, revenue increase. When revenue increase, gross profit increase. Gross profit increase, gross margin. So there is the effect for the C. These two effects. Okay. Here increase gross profit margin. This one decrease gross profit margin. Okay, next. Let's see what else the question. Okay, Chipo is considering converting her sole trader business into the limited company because she thinks that it will easier for her to obtain finance for future expansion. Advise Chipo whether or not she should convert her business to a limited company in order to obtain finance, justified by providing advantage and disadvantage. See how many marks they give us? 4 marks. So 4 marks, then you talk about the sole trader. One advantage. What is the advantage as a sole trader? What is the disadvantage of a sole trader? Here, one give you 2 marks. Next is that limited company. What is the advantage? What is the disadvantage? But as I say, when you talk about advice, conclusion must be there. Conclusion. What is your recommendation or what is your conclusion? What you want to recommend? Your recommendation. Okay, now we think about the advantage as this sole trader first. The advantage as a sole trader, okay, is all profit belong to the owner, and also the owner can make faster decision. Okay, and if you want to talk about the business, if you newly set up, that means easier to set up. But because this business is already ongoing, so you don't talk about new easier to set up. Disadvantage of the sole trader is because workload increase because everything you need to do yourself. You need to decide by yourself. Okay. And then also the key for the sole trader, the most important for the disadvantage is unlimited liability. There is a key thing. The why most of the business when they start to grow, okay, they starting from the sole trader. When the business start to grow, they tend to convert into the limited company because unlimited liability problem in the sole trader. So now come to the limited company. Limited company advantage is that you can get more fund or money because can sell the share to others. Okay, to others. Okay, other than that is when you come to want to get the money, borrow money from the bank, easier to get finance from the bank because capital is more than sole trader. That is the one of the important of the company, why people want to convert into the company because can get more money and compare to get the loan, to get the finance is easier. Okay, other than that, what else that about the limited company? Okay, about the share, can sell the share, can what else the thing can easier get financing. I think okay, here can hire expertise or hire professional people to run the business because you have more money to, because business you to have more capital. Okay, this is very subjective. Sole trader also can be using, can do that, but logical limited company have more money. Okay, now next disadvantage. Disadvantage is that when you incorporate the limited company, the cost of incorporation of limited company is high, more expensive because you need to have the statutory audit, statutory tax submission, all this all need the cost. So cost in running is more. If you don't want to say cost of incorporation of, you can say that cost to run limited company is higher than sole trader. So this is a disadvantage that we have. And then come to the sole trader, one of the thing you everything controlled by yourself. But when you incorporate the company, limited company, the owner, this is what the owner always worry. The owner may lose control of the company. Means that other people have more share than you. You are not the main shareholder. You will lose the control of the company. Okay, come to conclusion. Later we see what we're going to say about conclusion. I need to go back to the question to see what are the information we have. Okay. For the, you see the profit, okay, gross profit we get 42,000. We don't know what is the profit for the year, and cost of production is 152. And then see what else the information that we can help us to explain. Okay, there's not much information. Okay, only thing can here we have the quantitative number, the profit 42,000. Okay, so the bad thing if we incorporate the company, the disadvantage, the owner, the profit. Okay, profit has to be shared. Has to be shared with others shareholder. So that is from the information that we can get. Okay, now answer back this question. So we say that Chipo is considering convert her sole trader. So whether she should, okay, so you can say that the advantages of convert sole trader to limited company is Chipo can get more fund due to the share can be sold to others. That is the first sentence, the advantage that we make. Okay, the next is, what else the advantage that we can say? Chipo has limited liability because Chipo has limited liability because Chipo has limited liability because the company now in limited liability where he does not need to worry that his personal belonging to take away due to debt. This one is trying to tell you that when you have unlimited liability, the problem of unlimited liability is the owner personal belong can be taken to pay off all the debt when the business owed to outsider. So that is about the unlimited liability. Okay, next so now when he formed this company, he don't need to worry. He don't need to worry his personal belonging will be taken away due to the debt already. Okay, next move on. What else that we have? 2 points. I already mentioned 2 points. The first point, we can get more fund. Okay, this is the first point they're talking about. Second point, unlimited liability. So he don't need to worry. So this is the 2 points is to support advantage already. Now, next disadvantage. However, let me think the disadvantage. Let me see what is the point here. He may lose control of the company if he is not the if he is not holding the most share of the company, so there is a disadvantage. He may lose a control. Now is second point. What else you can talk about? Okay, the cost of running. The cost of running the what? Let me think. The cost of running the business is more costly due to statutory requirement. That means you have to pay the auditor, you have to pay the tax agent, you have to get the professional account to do the account. That's all the cost due to the statutory requirement. So 2 mark basically should be enough to cover already. Okay. So the key for the loss is loss control, the disadvantage, and the cost of running is high, more costly. Okay, so there's a disadvantage. 2 point we given now. Make a conclusion. Okay, since they did the second sentence, they mentioned about the purpose he want to convert is that it's easier for her to obtain the finance for future expansion. So means that this point to get more fund, okay, is very helpful already. So you add one more sentence into advantage. Is easier for her to obtain finance for future expansion. So that is adding what they mentioned. Highlight again what they asked for. Okay, now let's continue. Conclusion. So what is the conclusion that we want to make? For me, personally, I will agree that he should convert into the limited company, because seldom for the manufacturing company, manufacturing business, for the manufacturing business, seldom they do the small business, because manufacturing you need to quite high cost to start up the business. So it will be more advisable convert into the limited company so that he can have more fun, he can have more money to run the business. I would suggest, because I would advise, or I would suggest, I would advise Chipo to convert the business into limited company, because she need a lot of fun to run manufacturing business. By converting into limited company, she can get outsider to contribute the fund into business. This will help the company future expansion. So this is the answer that I would like to share with you. So for the theory part, because now Now all the theory question is not straightforward. So you must cover all the area. Based on the question, they want an advantage, disadvantage. So answer back, I will try to use talking about limited company because their key thing is convert into limited company. So using back this is a point that trying to give you the hint how to answer the question. But come to the question, overall answer depends how you write it. Try to use the point, write complete sentence. And then don't forget the last sentence is your conclusion, whether you support or not support. So that is up to individual. See what is the angle that you look into it. Okay, this is for the question 3.